or 40 grams.
Right.
I think the average American gets about 5 or 10 grams.
Oh my gosh.
So unfortunately, most of what we eat is not rich in fiber, unfortunately. A lot of people, that's different. A lot of people have changed. I certainly tend to eat a fiber-rich diet, just the foods I like. I love snacking on nuts and seeds. I love legumes. Muriel makes her incredible pea soup. So for me, vegetables and things like that, Muriel's such a great cook that she makes foods that maybe when I was younger, I didn't find appealing. Brussels sprouts, for instance.
Sure.
She makes Brussels sprouts that I could eat like candy.
Yeah.
She sautés them up in olive oil with some herbs and spices, and they're just incredible.
It's funny how I taste.
Yes.
He's so good at describing the food. That's what does it, Andrew. It's a talent of yours.
No, I like so many of you out there, I love to eat.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that I was an athlete when I was younger, and I still engage in sports every single day, because if I didn't, I would be a much larger person standing up here.
Well, I think to that point, though, it's fair to say that we expect a lot from our bodies. Our bodies have got to do a lot of work, which is why products like Digest Assure are so important.
Another important thing, digestive enzymes are something our body makes. Without digestive enzymes, we couldn't be alive, because we would put food, all these complex foods, whether it's like chicken or fish or vegetables or fruits or nuts or seeds, whatever it might be, we put them in our stomach. And the only reason, if you really think about the complexity of the things we eat, the only reason we could break them down into their constituent molecules, literally their constituent molecules. So we're pulling out amino acids, we're pulling out individual molecules of carbohydrates, sugars, and triglycerides, fats. We're pulling all of these things out. And the only reason we could do that chemical work inside our body, and that's harsh chemical work. You could put a steak in the oven for an hour at 1,000 degrees. It's still a steak when you're done. It might be burnt, but it's still a steak. We actually break it into its constituent molecules, and that's all the work of enzymes. Enzymes have this ability to perform chemical reactions that should take extreme temperatures, but to do it at body temperature. To do it in our stomach and small intestines, it's almost beyond comprehension when you think about it. But enzymes are yet another thing that we don't necessarily absorb. Our body secretes them, but they do their work in our digestive tract. They're essential to our existence. Without adequate enzymes, not only could we not survive, but our digestion becomes uncomfortable, problematic, indigestion. And that's exactly what this product is designed to overcome and compensate for. The natural reduction in the secretion of enzymes that comes with age, that comes with stress, that comes with even so many of us take these proton pump inhibitors.
Yes.
The things that are these hydrogen antagonists, agonists, that they reduce the level of hydrogen ions available. And those hydrogen ions are essential for proteolytic enzymes, the enzymes that digest protein. So when you reduce the acid secretion, yes, it might reduce the symptoms of GERD or things like that, but it also reduces the efficacy of your enzymes to digest protein. Yeah. That's one of the most important reasons for this product, to deliver those proteolytic enzymes. Also, acid in our stomach plays an important defensive role against inbound, say, bacteria or other issues. So when we reduce that acid, we eliminate a very important defense mechanism. Yeah. Also, when we change the pH, we affect the probiotic environment in our stomach. So we should be very careful when we work with our doctors. I think a lot of folks look at those proton pump inhibitors and things like that as being the same as those old like Tums or Rolaids or things like that. Not even close. Tums and Rolaids, those just buffered. Those were minerals that buffered the acidity in your stomach. These other products go to the very manufacture, the very creation of those hydrogen ions. So it's an entirely different issue, and it comes with different consequences, and that's why I leave that to your doctors. But it's a serious conversation that you need to have. They shouldn't be popped like candy. They should be used just as reluctantly as any medication, only when you need it.
It's one of my desert island products, and what Andrew just discussed and described derived was certainly the reason I took it upon myself to start taking Digest Assure. So I love this product. If you struggle with digestive issues like I did with acid reflux, for me, it's helped a lot just to change my habits, change my routine, change what I'm eating, think about what I'm eating. This is a product that I cannot recommend enough.
Yeah, and it's not a drug,
No.
It's not a medicine,
No.
but we all struggle with digestion. And the critical component in digestion, we need to secrete adequate acid so it creates a proper environment for our enzymes to go to work. So we need those digestive enzymes. Or, as I said before, we can't break down the food, we can't extract the nutrients we need, and we're going to be uncomfortable through that entire process. So all this is designed to supplement the enzymes that our body, as we get older, tends to not adequately secrete. And the reviews on this product, I think it's rated 4.6 stars.
It is.
It's virtually perfectly reviewed.
There are 600 plus 5-star reviews. The pricing is good till midnight, everybody. $61.80, $360. If you order it in the next hour and 50 minutes, you'll get our fabulous pricing. So I hope you give it a go. You have a 30-day return policy. Really, tonight, maybe when you get into bed, or if you're already in bed,